yɛbɛka parliament atase na ɛhɔ ayɛ hyie paa ɛne ya na kyerɛ sɛ mo resume from their recess a kyerɛ sɛ ɛyɛ Bagbin ɛna atena na adwa kɛseɛ nim ɛna ɔde nsɛm bi a kyerɛ sɛ aka akyi a yɛnim nyinaa yɛde abrɛn ama yɛhu sɛ yɛde bɛti a wɔmɛ yɛhu sɛ president ɛto kwan ɛkɔ Abidjan ɛbɛka Côte d'Ivoire ɛne date ɔde bɛbɛ nyina no ɔbɛka mɛ na deɛ wo hia paa wɔ news nim ne sɛ wa confirm some 7 Supreme Court judges bi just enche babe veti omo na just omako Supreme Court akako ye adwuma ho just enya asem ketwa na wuti omudin a NDC MPs for nyina sorry abusi omani agye pa din na beto awonte omani agye na so say as usual NPP for just more parliament no omani nje ho because nim adwen wo mutirim ebi omodwen say amaha be de omo ye ni bidia we don't know yes embre nkonkoti edin na speaker Bagbin confirm you know
one dated 26th May 2026 and it reads, Right Honorable Speaker, I'm overspeeding. 2025, sorry. Absence from Ghana. Pursuant to Article 59 of the 1992 Constitution of the Republic of Ghana, I write to formally inform you of my intention to travel to Abidjan on 26 May 2025 to participate in the 2025 annual meetings of African Development Bank Group, scheduled to be held on 27th May 2025, and I return same day. During my absence, the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman, shall, in accordance with Article 68 of the Constitution, assume my duties. Signed, John Dramani Mahama. Honorable members, I have another message from His Excellency the President, dated 20th May 2025. It also reads, Right Honorable Speaker, appointment of justices to the Supreme Court. On 29th April 2025, I submitted my nominations by letter to the Judicial Council for appointment to the Supreme Court. The chairperson, Acting Chief Justice Paul Bafubone, on behalf of the Council, advised me on 5th of May 2025 of the suitability of my underlisted nominees for appointment to the Supreme Court. Names: 1. Justice Senyor Jamefe. 2. Justice Sir Dennis Dominic Ajay. 3. Justice Biel Simon Turbare. 4. Justice Philip Bright Mensah. 5. Justice Janapare Azua Battles Kojo. 6. Justice Hafisata Amaliboba. 7. Justice Kweku Tawia Aka Buafo. In accordance with my duty under Article 1442 of the Constitution of Ghana, 1992, I consulted with the Council of State by submitting the above names and their curricula vitae to the Council of State. On 7th May 2025, the Council of State notified me by a letter and a report indicating their suitability for appointment. Accordingly, pursuant to Article 1442 of the 1992 Constitution, I am requesting that Parliament consider and approve the appointment of the nominees as Justices of the Supreme Court of Ghana. Attached are their curricula vitae. Mr. Speaker, it is my respectful hope and expectation that the approval of the nominees will proceed expeditiously to enable them to assume offices as soon as practicable. Please accept the assurances of my highest consideration. Signed, John Dramani Mahama. Honorable members, I have copies of the CVs of the nominees, and I accordingly refer this to the Appointment Committee for consideration and report to the House. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I recommend that we allow the leadership of the Judiciary Committee to participate in the vetting of the nominees to the post of Supreme Court Justices.
Minority from bench, you heard the Majority Leader. What do you have to say?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in reference to our standing orders, we believe that subject matter committee representatives are always allowed to participate in such vetting or hearing. So I agree that reference should be made to the committee. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, please, member, are you on your feet? Honorable member. Well, I will call on the members of the Judicial Committee led by their leaders. I don't know the leaders of the committee. And I will try and give details so that you can get the specific persons involved. That is dealing with Appointments Committee, Standing Order 2175. 2171 details out the core members of the Appointments Committee. Yes, please.
Speaker, with respect, not to belabor the point, if you reference 2172, that with your indulgence, it says, amongst other things, the chairperson and ranking member and 2 other members of the relevant subject matter standing or select committee shall join. So, by extensions, we may not even limit ourselves to only the judiciary committee. By extension, we could even consider the Constitutional and Legal and the Subsidiary Legislation Committee. No, Subsidiary Legislation and Constitutional and Legal are relevant in this context.
Yeah. It was for good reason that I called on the leadership of the minority to respond to the application, because the application was specific. It mentioned only Judicial Committee. And your leader, represented by the deputy, submitted your position. Now, you have brought in a new application. It means that I have to listen to the majority as to whether they will agree that we add beyond the leadership of the Judicial Committee.
Mr. Speaker, I do not object to the Constitutional and Legal Committee leadership joining, but I don't think the Subsidiary Legislation Committee should join. So I agree with him to the extent that he proposes the leadership of the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee.
Honorable members, it's still important I read those provisions so that we are all clear as to who in particular is expected to be part of the Appointments Committee. 2171 says the Appointments Committee comprises the First Deputy Speaker as chairperson, Minority Leader as ranking member, the Deputy Majority Leader as vice chairperson, the Deputy Minority Leader as deputy ranking member, and the following other members. Honorable member, please, you are completely out of order. Members should know that you don't stand with your back to the maize. It's unparliamentary. If you want to whisper to a friend, you move to the side of the friend or the back of the colleague or friend and whisper. But your back to the maize shows disrespect to the authority of the house, which is the maize. Please. Honorable members, after these members of the leadership, we also have the Majority Chief Whip, the Minority Chief Whip, and 5 other members selected based on the numerical strength of the parties in Parliament. Two, the chairperson and ranking member and 2 other members of the relevant subject matter standing or select committee that join the members of the appointment committee to consider persons nominated by the president for appointment as Chief Justice and Justices of the Supreme Court, Ministers of State, Deputy Ministers, the administrator of the District Assembly's Common Fund, the special prosecutor, and other persons specified under the Constitution or any other enactment. More relevant is 2175, which says a member of the Appointments Committee or the leadership and the two other members of the relevant subject matter standing or select committee joining the Appointments Committee shall not be a minister of state or deputy minister or a minister or deputy minister designate, except where the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs is the majority leader. Fortunately, we don't have Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. So that one applies to situations where we have that ministry in place. So please, these are the members that will constitute the Appointments Committee to go into this referral. But the general rule that permits members to be in attendance applies. So any member of parliament can be in attendance, but definitely you have no right to vote. And subject to the permission of the chair, you may ask questions.
Owusu for the Yankasi Suma, Niama Air Coso Parliamental Sonny de Abramano, Feno Martinase, na Ubibese Ashasi Imponi, na Ibidrum Finfi, near Bibi. Very interesting story, and I say news about Tabanton. Speaker Bagbin Nankasankasemo, I confirm the Supreme Court new judges on Babeko Ibikono, ne Ibisuya den Eba. Yes, suspended bino, Nibiso act. Ha, as I bring the information Abramayatina. This common vet here, bevet, no. NPP for Eke Committee Boom. Monsoring can be a crown from her. Raising me support NDC for proposal that to acquire first of the veteran. Another press area. I know they also on support and also support different thing. I know this is a speaker. They be at and Guasan Yana Moana Mopedia, you don't know. This is speaker, sir. I'm out Nasi Kawenima fine and Sana or Wato, we don't know. Sianam Pesemu get Tomon Candia, we don't know. Because at the end now more can about vet and also can different thing. This is a cassette answer. So right now no Speaker Bagbin I confirm it. President Mahama tried Abriano and I just also agyapong say vet in chassis because we see it Mahama a letter not try by now catch Speaker Bagbin say or making sure say on my vet on my win temajomatum as soon as possible because a person question say you man 10 oh Supreme Court one bass will be diagro or reset every year institution because Ghana in here reset that update now a year Bamiaka and Yenny here Ghana in here a year reset. So I can't try by say oh making sure say on men in 10 term. That is the reason why our mobile parliament no. Or more cases I would do a man you or more bills I would do a man prove bills I would do a monk awesome. So my penny in our twin channel. A bit delay with this case because a John Dramani Hammer can't say on yen in Temano. So that is the reason why this a year case you had the Abba on Bobo. Now we see a year the majority leader now or say yen found for mere competent BTC same. Yen perverting be na moko verti na where the gobe would move to the same ochromedianity saying yen be ni April. Obi ye kwaya attorney general also on sorry na onsa bobo like would you want to say If I do more quay saying, Obi Attorney General, sorry, no answer. So, ye young for multi judicial air system, ombusa relevant questions. Yes, omuni here, and you will be for the nine in it here. Now, you can say, yeah, man, son, any buff, no, sorry, go. Yeah, and just this time, no. Said the one casa a leak audio be a tabont, no. On my dream, my fan. Pone, Ponsine P. Ghana, queen, no. Mumu loss. And so much Ghana queer mumu loss. Petrol bar for my mom pay. Light boba for my mom pay. Insu boba for my mom pay. Ghana ninye jumaya mom pay. Meanwhile, Mumu is count better petrol, moves count beton so better than but more jumaye. But on pesa Ghana nina or some as on the binya jumaya to your pay. All because of politics. Send a be waiting in so negari abeda dormo. So these people know, which means they are there for their selfish gains, selfish interests, to stay in power to get whatever they like. Not for the ordinary Ghanaian, send a be with my survive, you know, more dream home. Dollar back from Marco share sumo and discuss it, near my with my idea, create attention. I'm a Germania, I'm NDC for. Does it make sense? Your queen man, as a banner, yechi. Share time independence. Ukrubia independence no less than ye time independence ye feel more bed ye chemu be for a mudim back so come kroma mode sign independence no nyan abuild your mukro kama and you were honey back and forth and you be or your mind or my want you are there planning and plotting evil against the nation send a be ya doesn't make sense. Everything is about time. A time is coming up. Some political parties in the people from the BI, the Akosoro, the Austrians, from subscribing and share money. I said,